My name is Michael, and this is Stevensville Gamers, the channel. As you can tell by the channel name, this isn't the type of content I usually put out, but this is a serious issue, and I'm going to talk about it. So hello to people who are familiar with the channel. Hello potential new people who are looking for coronavirus updates or content. This is for comedic value as well as some PSAs. So I hope you enjoy the video, new people who potentially are quarantined and looking for coronavirus content. And if you somehow don't know what the coronavirus is, you're probably living under a rock, which is honestly your best bet right now, because we're in one of the worst pandemics of the century. Now that statement could or could not be true, but like today's topic of discussion, nothing I say is fact-checked, and no one seems to fucking care. And no, we're not talking about global warming conspiracies, we're not talking about flat earth conspiracies and theories, no. We're talking about the United States of America's president. I'm not going to say his name in fear that the FBI man who lives inside my computer and watches my every movement and all of my surveillance decides to contact the authorities and I get locked up for slander and then maybe deported back to Romania, where I apparently belong. I am actually an American citizen. My heritage is Romanian. I was born in Baltimore, Maryland at a Johns Hopkins hospital. Please don't deport me or report me. This is all in good fun, also free speech. So anyway, for some quick background and on a much more serious note, this is a real issue. Coronavirus, Covid-19 is extremely serious. For the people who are not taking it as serious, or people, saying the thing like, oh, it can't harm me. I don't think that the people who were like, oh my god, the coronavirus is not that big of a deal. I think at this point, hopefully these people have woken up and realized that this is actually a serious issue, because it fucking is. Please also follow whatever quarantines or stay-at-homes that have been, set up by your local or state law officials. A lot of places, all unnecessary or unessential businesses have been shut down. The only things that are still open are like gas stations, grocery stores, hospitals, I believe, just stuff like that, where people can get food, get supplies, and get help if they need it. Also, law enforcement officers, I believe, are still in full swing as well. Follow those procedures and guidelines that people are setting up, because they're set up for a reason, and I'm going to talk about why the quarantine is set up for a fucking good reason. First thing, just to rattle off some statistics as well. I got these from the WHO official situation reports, the most recent ones, which is the World Health Organization. I've also been perusing and reading a whole bunch of stuff on the CDC's official website. I've also been looking at worldmeters.info, which is an area where it kind of collects a bunch of statistics from WHO, from CDC's, all that kind of stuff, and kind of compiles it into one space, giving numbers and everything. So according to all of these official websites and all of that, there are over 400,000 confirmed cases worldwide. And because I'm in the U.S., I will state that there is 33,404 cases in the U.S. The death toll thus far has only been 17,451, which is a pretty small percentage of the 400,000 that are currently infected. For reference, the three most infected places in order are China, Italy, and the United States. It has since changed. The United States is now number one, with China and then Italy. So I'm fucked, because I'm in the US right now. Big yikes. I wrote this script over the last 2 days. I took most of the statistics from yesterday. These statistics probably are a couple days old by the time this video goes up, so I apologize. All of these are probably higher now, because it's not slowing down. So one of the main issues here that is pretty plain to see is that the death toll and the death count percentage in comparison to the total number of infected people seems and is really low, and most of those deaths, people had pre-existing medical conditions. A lot of people are thinking I am healthy, therefore I can't get harmed. This is just untrue. People who have been recovering from the virus, studies have been showing that they have permanent respiratory damage Like, this shit's no joke. It's not like a cold where, you take some cold medicine, you're sick for about a week. In my case, I'm sick for a fucking month usually. But most people are sick for like a week, 2 weeks. You recover, you're fine. No, this shit's serious. You have to go to the hospital. If you do manage to recover, you haven't fully recovered because people medical professionals and studies are showing that you have permanent respiratory damage if you recover from this. So if you do get it, it will harm you. That statement is just untrue. Also, other people have pre-existing medical conditions, not just yourself. People who are immunodepressed, immunodeficient, people with cardiovascular or respiratory issues, pre-existing conditions of those are also super high risk. I personally have a long history of respiratory issues and difficulties. Therefore, I am considered a high-risk patient or person for the coronavirus. So if you are healthy and you go become infected and then you get me infected, you might not get coronavirus crazy strong and you might be able to recover with minimal respiratory damage. But then you come in contact with me or someone else who's immunodeficient or someone who else has cardiovascular or respiratory issues, then you've infected them. You might be fine, but now they're fucked. They're screwed. And it's your fault that you decided, I'm not going to follow quarantine. I'm not going to follow social distancing. I'm going to go get these fucking immunosuppressant people sick. The other is like elderly people. The elderly, their bodies have been living for a long time. Their bodies, worn out. Their immune system's not the best. Cardiovascularly, sometimes not the best. So elderly folks are definitely at high risk here as well as people with pre-existing medical conditions. You're telling me that you're going to go get coronavirus, go say hi to grandma, and next thing you know, 2 weeks later, grandma's dead because you couldn't fucking quarantine yourself? Like, it's insane. And I'm mostly referencing to people down in Florida who fucking decided to go on spring break and are like, oh my god, it's spring break. We've been planning this trip for months. I can't get my spring break taken away from me. I hate being a part of this goddamn generation of doing it because I myself am a young 21-year-old college student. But no, I'm not a fucking idiot who's decided to go down to Florida for spring break. Florida's also like the retirement home of the fucking United States, supposedly. So all these young people going down there and fucking corralling on the beaches and then like leaving and going other places, and then elderly folk have to fucking weave through the goddamn streets of dumbass 20-something-year-olds getting themselves sick. And then I bet you the fucking retirement home of Florida, just the whole goddamn state, is just going to be infected. And then all of these kids are going to go back from spring break, go back to the colleges, go back home, infect all of the elderly and all the immunosuppressant folk down in Florida, and then go disperse throughout the United States and get all those fuckers sick. It's so dumb. If you're down in Florida right now, enjoying your spring break, fucking quarantine yourself in a hospital for 14 days, and then go home. Or go home and get quarantined in your hometown for 14 days in a goddamn hospital or something, so you don't get everybody else in your fucking hometown sick because you decided to go have spring break down in Florida. I hope the goddamn sharks eat you. Real quick as well, before I move on to, what happens if all these kids down in Florida go everywhere else and get everyone else sick. If you do have to leave the house for any reason, wear gloves, wear your masks, stay safe, fucking wash your hands. If you go grocery shopping, before you bring the groceries into your house, get some Clorox wipes, get some bleach water. Wipe down all of your fucking groceries before you bring them into your house, because you don't know who the fuck's been touching that stuff. It's in a public place. Anyone can go to the grocery store right now. It's a huge like influx and rush of people there. You don't know who's touched it. Clean your groceries, clean your supplies before you bring it into your house. If like you got produce, wipe that shit down with bleach or bleach water or Clorox wipes, and then go wash it with soap and water so you can eat it properly. Just take every precaution that you possibly can to make sure that you are not spreading this and also potentially getting yourself sick just because you try to go get supplies and you don't know how strict other people are being with their quarantine, with their hand washing, with their glove usage, all of that kind of stuff. So you or us as individuals have to make sure that we take every single precaution that we can and hope that everyone else is taking precautions. Unlike the fucking idiots down in Florida who are fucking drinking on the beach before the bars and restaurants shut down and fucking partying out in the water. But back to my prior point, if and when these people go back to their hometowns after they've all corralled in Florida for a couple weeks, then what? The kids are fucking dumb enough to go and fucking corral down in Florida. They're definitely not going to be smart enough to quarantine themselves. And if they do quarantine themselves as well, you should be quarantined for 14 days in a hospital or some sort of medical facility as well. If you've been exposed to that many people like they are down in Florida, it's all crazy. They'll go back, they'll get sick, they'll get everyone else sick. And predictions are saying that if we don't follow quarantine, if we don't take this seriously, the infection rates are going to skyrocket even more, and then we've already run out of testing in the United States. I've been calling hospitals and insurance companies to make sure that I can get treatment or I can, get help if needed because I'm a high-risk patient, because of my pre-existing medical conditions with respiratory and cardiovascular system stuff. They've run out of testing, and if all of these people influx into the hospital, predictions are saying that hospitals are now going to be understaffed, underprepared. We're going to run out of supplies. We're not going to have enough beds. We're not going to be able to quarantine people good enough so it can spread inside hospitals potentially because of the influx of people trying to get help. Hospitals have already fucking shut their doors to people unless you're showing severe symptoms. And by the time you're showing severe symptoms, you probably are in fucking a lot of pain. You already may be too far gone. This influx is already affecting people, and hospitals have shut their doors. You can't just walk into emergency rooms anymore. You have to call people. You have to call the hospital to let you in. And then if you don't have like a crazy high fever or respiratory distress, they'll send you home because they can't have this many people in the fucking hospitals. So we're going to be understaffed, underprepared, run out of supplies. And if this happens, potentially the death toll will skyrocket even more because we don't have all of these things. We've already seen it happen in other countries. We're trying to prevent it in America and everywhere else in the world. So please, please stay at home unless you have to go get supplies. Social distancing, at least 6 feet apart from everybody. Make sure you're washing your hands like all the fucking time. Just set an alarm every hour, and every hour just wash your hands. Because why the fuck not? Just go for it. If you have to leave the house, use gloves, use a mask. Don't touch your face as well. Like do not touch your face at all. That's my informative PSA, yelling at the dumbasses down in Florida, giving you some numbers, as well as, what will happen if we influx the hospitals. Now, for the meat and potatoes of this video, after I've said all of that, there are rumors and articles going around the last couple of days that are brilliant. Our goddamn brilliant president of the United States really, really thinks it's the greatest idea in our greatest interests as American citizens to open back up the economy, to lift all of the quarantines. Fuck it, everyone. Go back to work because the economy is skyrocketing fucking downwards, fucking plummeting. Not skyrocketing, fucking plummeting because no one's buying anything, because everyone's unemployed. No one has any goddamn money because everyone's stocking up on supplies. They still have to pay their bills, People are filing for unemployment. It's absolutely insane. And God doesn't look bad on good old Mr. President because, my re-election is soon and, got to make sure that economy is good. When the fucking WHO and the CDC have predicted and said this is a bad idea if we lift fucking quarantine. You remember that hospital situation I just explained? If you lift the goddamn quarantine, let everyone go back to work, let everyone go back to their normal lives, everyone will get infected, and then the hospital situation that I just explained seconds ago will happen, and the death toll will skyrocket, and America will probably become the number one most infected. Too late, it already has. Beyond China and Italy, and probably have the most fucking deaths, just instantaneously, because he's so goddamn worried about his fucking re-election and the economy. When fucking health experts, when disease control is like, hey, don't fucking leave your house. And he is so goddamn concerned with himself and the economy and class interests that he's like, hey, everyone, go back to work. I sure fucking hope he does not do this. Again, more information by the time this video comes out has probably surfaced. At the point in time, we are still quarantined. At the point of making this video, we are still quarantined. It's only rumors that it will happen. He has said it. Hopefully, he's not fucking dumb enough to actually do that. If this does happen, maybe don't go back to work. Maybe ignore the president's wish for you to go get fucking coronavirus and spread it to the rest of the goddamn population. Maybe don't do that. Maybe still, self-quarantine. Because I know I'm going to be in my goddamn bunker until this all washes through. Probably till like the beginning of May. And it's the end of March right now. It's fucking insane. I have so much time on my hands now. I've been thinking about so many things. And one thought crossed my mind. What if the coronavirus, instead of Covid-19, turned into Covid-Z, a World War Z situation, and there's just zombies out on the street? Everyone who's infected with the coronavirus, the whole 400,000 people, 33,000 in the United States, they just were zombies now. Would the president still be so goddamn concerned with the economy, with zombies out, and just be like, hey, go out, do your job, go back to work, start buying things again other than supplies, and just ignore the zombies. Just, oh, you see one down there? Oh, is that one down there on the street? Oh, ignore them. So, because I'm social distancing, and I would definitely get some of my friends to do this live action, we can't because social distancing and quarantine. So I have decided to make a Photoshop adaptation, if you will, of what would happen if the president decided to release the quarantines during a zombie apocalypse. Please enjoy.
Hello, my fellow Americans. Today I'm here to speak about the coronavirus. It is completely safe to go outside. So get out there and start boosting my economy. Thank you.
What's going on outside?
Well, our glorious president said I should go back to work. So let me go ahead and start walking on back to work, where I work a job and make money and can buy things. Huh, I wonder what that could possibly be over there. Oh God, please no. Mr. Trump said it would be safe. Oh God, this is the end. All I wanted to do was being a good American citizen and help out our dying economy in this time of crisis when we really should be putting forth efforts to help research. Everyone, do not worry. It is still safe outside. Ignore all the zombies that you see that were created because of the coronavirus.
I hope you enjoyed that little Photoshop rendition of what if the president decided to lift quarantine in a zombie apocalypse. I try to make this slightly entertaining as well as very informative. Synopsis: don't leave your house. Wash your hands. If you have to leave, wear gloves. Wear a mask. Be careful of what you touch. Don't touch your face. Everything new you bring into your house. Wipe it down with Clorox wipes, antibacterial soaps, bleach water, literally anything to get everything off of these new things that are bringing into your house, so you don't accidentally bring it into your house when you're trying to self-quarantine. Take every precaution that you possibly can. Call your local hospital. See what their procedures are if you would start to get any sort of symptoms for coronavirus. Just do every precaution you can. Call your insurance company if you have health insurance. See what they're doing, costs, and paying for these types of procedures. If you were to go into the hospital, just make sure you do everything you possibly can. Stay safe out there. Hopefully, this starts to blow over soon. People start taking it serious, and we can start to really actually combat COVID-19. Thanks for watching, and see you later.